Social Security recipients are going to get a pay bump. It's going to be 2.7%. But is that going to be enough to fight inflation and the rising costs of everything? Let's get into the news.
Social Security recipients are now expected to get a bigger raise next year than originally predicted, and here's why that matters. Now, the 2026 Cost of Living Adjustment, or COLA, is now projected to be around 2.7%. That's a bump from the previous estimate earlier in the year of only 2.5%. Now, you might be thinking, what does that actually mean for me? Let's say that you're receiving $1,000 a month in Social Security benefits this year, 2025. A 2.7% increase means you'd get about $27 more each month starting in January. That's about $1,027 a month going forward. Now, COLA is the government's way of trying to keep your benefits in line with inflation. So as prices goes up, your check does too. But here's the catch. It's not based on regular inflation data. It's calculated using something called the CPIW, which
Of course, it's not based on real inflation numbers. Let's keep watching. This news is nuts.
looks at the spending habits of urban wage earners and clerical workers, not retirees. That's why some argue that the COLA doesn't fully keep up with the real cost of living for seniors. Even though 2.7% may seem small, it's still more than what was originally expected. And for many seniors, that extra $27 per month can help cover rising costs on things like food, rent, and medication.
Well, thank goodness there's things like that increasing costs. By the way, if you have medications and it's going through your Medicare or whatever your insurance is, always check your prescription price through goodrx.com. It's free. All right, now let's see what the CPI actually says for increase on inflation rates.
Came in the headline number at 0.2% on the month, which came in line with the estimate here, but the annualized number came in lower, which is good. 2.7% versus the 2.8% estimate. That's why the market is popping right now. But don't get too excited yet, because excluding food and energy, the core CPI increased 0.3% for the month and 3.1% from a year ago, which is actually a little hotter on the annualized number. The estimate was 3%. But overall, guys, look, inflation is heading in the right direction. We can see here it was at 9%. And honestly, it was much higher, let's be real, back in 2022, 2023, and now it's at 2.7%.
The rising CPI is matching what you guys are going to get in your Social Security bump, 2.7 and 2.7. So you're not actually getting more money, though. Just keep that in mind. You're not getting more money. You're getting the amount of money that'll keep things equal in price to the projected inflation. Now, keep in mind, inflation rates go up and down all the time, and 2.7% inflation. You tell me, you think that's actually accurate, or does inflation seem like it's more than that? While you are getting an increase in your Social Security benefits, let's see how that's actually going to affect you. What are the average grocery prices these days?
Groceries have gone up $7,000 a year for the average family. And no one's asking the question, where is that money coming from? Because unless you got a $7,000 raise last year and that money is just sitting in your account, it's coming from somewhere. It's coming from your savings. It's coming from your credit card. It's coming from your vacation fund.
By the way, that's an average increase of $583 a month, or about $150 a week.
That creates stress of where the money is going to come next and how you're going to pay the bills. That's why clipping coupons or cutting out your coffee run is not going to fix the problem. What you need is a grocery system that actually works with today's prices. Moms in my community are saving $500 to $800 every.
You know, the other crazy thing with that increase, I think it's actually pretty accurate. Like, if I go to Sam's Club or Costco now, the average price of ground beef is close to $6 a pound just for ground beef. And I remember not very long ago, it was like $2 or $3 a pound. The only thing that you can get still relatively cheap is like chicken breast. It's under $3 a pound at Sam's and Costco. But try going to, where do people go? Regular Walmarts, Targets, Albertsons, Safeway, Smith's, Publix, all these kind of stores. Your chicken is even $5 a pound. The ground beef is like 7, 8 just for ground beef. So this is pretty accurate. Let's look at some of these statistics on housing prices, because you might be retired. You're probably paying a mortgage and your house is paid off. But what are regular people paying for rent? And if you are retired and you're paying rent, this is really going to be relevant.
You know, guys, I would love to rent like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment or house and just save money like some normal people in this world can do. But when you live on Long Island, that's just not a motherfucking thing. It's not. If you look at the average rent rate on Long Island, it's like $2,200 to $3,000, and for like a 1-bed, 1-bath.
Are you kidding me? $2,200 to $3,000 for a 1-bed, 1-bath. Is that fair or justified? You tell me in the comments. Also, go ahead and throw me a like and a subscribe. Let's keep it going.
That looks like a 500 square foot apartment with no bathtub, barely a kitchen, maybe a hot plate if you're lucky.
That's another thing. So like this house I'm in that we just moved to, we're renting it. It's a new construction, brand new 2025. What is with the houses these days that don't have bathtubs? Like at least in the master bath. Like my kid's bathroom, which is small, it's got a regular little bathtub. What happened to the garden tubs? I like baths. Let's see what other rent prices are looking like.
I put this pretty little list together for you guys. I feel like I deserve some compensation for all of my hard work and sweat. However, here is the average price per city. This is based on rent for like a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom.
Look at these
let
numbers.
me get out of the way so you guys can take a quick screen grab.
All right, so if we're looking at this, so this is in Colorado. The only places I see that are cheaper, like Pueblo, Canyon City, Greenlee, like these are small, very rural places, and I guarantee you the homes you're going to rent there are going to be old and kind of a dump. Aurora area, 1,800, 2,000. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely averaging at least $2,000 a month for rent. Now, for those of you that own a home, you're still paying property taxes every year, which can add up, and then mortgage insurance, homeowners insurance. Let's check that out.
Florida is going through an insurance crisis, and here's what you need to know. The average cost for a policy in Florida is $6,000, which is the highest in the U.S. It's more than doubled in the last 3 years and costs 3 times more than the national average. Private insurers have either gone bankrupt or left the state en masse, which has caused Florida's government insurance program, Citizens, to be basically the only option for everybody. How many people? 1.2 million. This is a huge problem in itself, but what's worse is that Citizens is trying to lessen these numbers through their depopulation initiative, which is designed to shift policies back into the private market.
So the other thing is, if it's $6,000 average, now this is Florida, it's obviously the highest. That's $500 a month that you have to pay in homeowners insurance, and that's banking on them actually paying you out when your home gets destroyed by a hurricane, which happens a ton in Florida. A lot of people are paying more than that. But imagine you're retired, you're getting $1,200 a month on Social Security, you got some retirement funds coming in, your home is paid off, but 20%, 30, 40% of your income is going towards homeowners insurance. How are you guys getting by with that? So kind of to tie it all in, that 2.7% increase you're getting on your Social Security, at best, it's keeping up with inflation costs just for the CPI and CPIW, which is a little different. Realistically, you're still taking a net loss, okay? Go ahead and throw me a like and a subscribe. We'll have more fun on the next one.